Morning, Russ again. Um, Not so fantastically sunny day here on the Sunshine Coast. Why do they call it the Sunshine Coast? Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, even though I have been talking on and banging on in the past about the cars, about obviously earpieces and Bluetooth for our own safety. I'm sure you've all got the general gist of that. What I wanted to talk to you about today is something that we're probably not aware of, or we don't really want to be aware of as such. And we're talking about worst case scenarios, but we're talking about the cars that we're driving in today. Look, most of the cars that we are driving in today are all they're all electric now, aren't they? Electric windows. We've got power steering that's made it easily accessible for us. Everything these days with car and schematics is basically that electric. Scenario that I see a lot of, we've seen a lot of it, with these flash floods that we're kind of seeing all over the news, and God forbid that ever happens to anyone. But one thing I think that we're failing to realise is that there is water around us everywhere. I live in the hinterland. I've got Lake McDonald around the corner. We've got dams everywhere, and what we seem to be seeing a lot of is cars, whether they're involved in accidents or people sleeping at the wheel, or an oncoming driver or drivers, if you like. They could be experiencing anything from having a heart attack, from having a stroke, to fainting at the wheel. All of these things are out of our control, to the point where oncoming traffic will try to swerve. Before we know it, we end up in the water inside the car. We have our loved ones in the car. If not by yourself, you've got your wife, you've got kids in the back, you've got a baby in the front. The one thing that this car is missing, if it's electric, is the good old wind down window. Now, this is something that I believe is a massive mistake in cars today. Now you can see where I'm going with it, right? So I have, and I insist on having, something in the glove box. That's just me, but I'm trying to get you guys to be a little bit more intuitive about your environment, being more, again, situationally aware, using those words again. I do, in the car and cars that we own, even though electric, they're all push button power windows and whatever else, but there are scenarios that can occur where we're actually in the water and everything shuts itself down. Water and electric doesn't mix, does it? So how are we going to open the car door, or open the window, or get our loved ones or ourselves out of the water? We don't have the wind down windows anymore. So what do? I have in the past put a little hammer, tack hammer, in the glove box, so that's something you can easily reach. You can easily smash the windows. At least, even with tempered glass, it's going to dissipate quite quickly, and it'll give you the opportunity to jump out as soon as that necessitates. Now, obviously, that's something that I'm trained to do, and I do believe these are things that we do need to be training drivers to do with defensive driving tactics and these kind of scenarios that do occur. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to do them, but it should be an opportunity out there for certain driving schools or advanced driving training schools that's offering these scenarios, because it does happen, guys. And we live in a scenario here, and we live in an area and an environment that's susceptible to flash flooding. There's water everywhere, and let's be fair, we have seen it happen on the news and in various social kind of environments where we've been involved in. One thing I do have that's quite accessible and very easy to use is one of these. Now, this is called a tactical pen. The difference with these is that it's very resilient, it's very hard. There's so many different aspects of this that we can use, and I won't go into those aspects because this is obviously for the security orientated and the security minded, but there are certain aspects where we can use these. But the very interesting thing about this tactical pen is, number one, you can use it as a pen, okay? Secondly, it's a great self-defense tool. So it is great for the guys, well, I should say, and the girls, obviously, and I'm not trying to segregate between the two genders here, but obviously for the ladies, my wife included, and my loved ones, my sons and my daughters, have these with them at all times, okay? At all times, they will have one of these. So this is something you can easily use, and obviously for something that's as sharp on the edge there to disguise yourself as a pin, that can do a little bit of damage, okay, if you're hitting in the right place. There are many different ways of self-defense aspects which I'll be running in the not too distant future in the courses that I will be running, is using these pens as exactly that, as a self-defense tool. But in this scenario, I also have these in the car too. And why? For that exact reason. Obviously, I don't know, worst case scenario, something like that could happen. I could be in the water, or somebody's hit me, I've ended up in the water. What am I able to do? I'm in an electric car. The push button doesn't work for the buttons to come down, so what am I going to use? I'm using this serrated edge. I don't know if you can see that quite well. I'm trying to get it to zoom in a little bit. That is really quite sharp. And once that is applied hard enough to a window, it will smash. So you can imagine the damage that that will do. So I'll have that in the console, in the glove compartment, as well as a small little hammer. Yeah, look, I know there's arguments about it. Well, you know, you can't be caught with hammers and things of danger, but seriously, this is life and death. I'd sooner have something like this in the car just for, in case it happens, who knows, okay? That's just me, that's a scenario that go through my head, but always be prepared, guys, always be prepared. This is basically what you would do. So the thumb is going to be based at the base of that tactical pen, and we are going to strike that as hard as we can. I'm obviously not going to do it because I'm in my truck at the moment, but that will work. If that's given enough force and enough pressure, that window will smash, okay? It's as simple as that. Plain old tactical pen. They can be bought pretty much, yeah, there's many different outlets, but look, if you want any more advice about these and which ones you should be getting, please talk to me personally, and we'll be able to sort that out for you. So, a tactical pen, okay? Very important. Again, yeah, it's an interesting piece of kit that you should have in your car. I have them with me at all times. The girls in my life will have these with them at all times for obvious reasons. They have been taught how to use these. And in a car scenario where we don't have the good old wind down windows, it's worth thinking about, isn't it? For your own safety of yourself, your loved ones, please, for a small little investment, it could save lives, yours or others, or anybody else who's been a first responder could use. All right, any questions or anything to do with security related, to whether it's to do with me, or any questions you might have regarding anything to do with what's been shown today, anything's been shown in the past, hit me up. I am actually putting this onto my business page at the moment for security related reasons, but please get hold of me on Messenger. Those that like my page will obviously see this post and this video. Let me know anything you want to talk about. Very, very important in this day and age, in security conscious and being aware. Look up and survive, okay? Guys, have an awesome Friday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Look after those that need to be looked after. Take care, and talk to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.